Grab a brew. Don't cost nothing.
Even when I used to work out all the time, when I used to work out,
Ever protein powder? Yeah, I used to have it. When I used to work out, I used to take protein powders.
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day. Wow. Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Now I just want to say this, all right? And obviously I'll mention it from time to time. So the trolls basically now are going to continuously gift these exploited memberships to the channel. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's no way to turn off gifted memberships. There's no way to stop it. The problem is that it basically creates an influx flooding of bullshit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the podcast from about 2 days ago, back on Wednesday. Wednesday's podcast, which would have been the 17th of January. I explain in full what's really going on.
And what you think is really going on is accurate. People are trolling you, and your reaction is, of course, exactly what we want. Where you're wrong, double down on, and then embarrass yourself is at the point that you say this is an exploit. Now, I'm no guru of policy at streaming companies, but I am at least knowledgeable enough to know that some countries aren't like the US, and therefore they aren't going to have to pay as much for something in their currency. Shit, Eurotrip did a bit on this when they go to Bratislava, like back when the movie came out in 2002?
$1.83 American. What are we gonna get with that? Gotta love that exchange rate.
Would the masters care for anything else?
Think we're good. Thanks.
Oh, a nickel. You see this? I quit. I opened my own hotel.
That there is this exploit on YouTube that people will use, they'll basically lie about where they are in the world, and
that's just not right, is it? I sure remember all the times I signed up for new internet in apartments or houses or wherever, signing off on the contract that says, under penalty of death, the user shall not mask, hide, conceal, or purport themselves to be somewhere else in the world. Phil, do us all a giant favor and shut the fuck up.
they found out that there's a couple countries where if you pretend like you're from those countries and you buy super chats or you gift memberships or you do anything like that, that the conversion rate is glitched. It's not correct. So, for example, if you were to buy a membership here in the United States for my channel, it costs $4 USD. To buy it in one of those countries, it costs like 0.0001 cents. Obviously, that's not intended. There's no economic system where that works. It's obviously a glitch or a problem that was overseen by YouTube, but people are abusing it. I'm not the only person this has happened to. Don't think, oh, this is something new for Phil. I know for a fact this has been happening for like a year. People have been talking about it, and every once in a while, I'll notice someone comes to the stream and they do like a big super chat, and YouTube thinks it's big, and you look at it, it's worth like a quarter of a cent.
Has anyone heard about these other YouTubers that are complaining about this? Because I legitimately have heard nothing. I think that's namely because anyone who has memberships enabled doesn't give three shits as to where the memberships come from. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be large enough to have members, and people will quote-unquote troll me by getting and gifting memberships through VPNs, and I'll turn into a DSP. Although something tells me that I'll just be happy people are members on my page, and will likely redouble my efforts to make good content, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one here.
It's like, what? So this is the problem. So what's happening is now these idiots are doing it over and over. It can't be stopped. All we do is we ignore it. But you may have noticed, you might have gotten an email today saying, oh, you got a membership. Yeah, like, I'm not even kidding. There was like over 300 of these fake memberships given out tonight. The good news is, you're going to keep your everything you get from it. So you're going to keep the emotes, you're going to keep the chat crown badge. It's all yours for the month, you know? And I'm happy. Listen, the community gets something. That's cool. It's just a shame that that was a way to celebrate support for the channel and for me, and literally it means nothing.
I've mentioned this several times before, so I'll only mention it this one time on this video. The mask is just gone. It's annihilated. This is Phil. This is who Phil always has been. Let's look at the order of the last segment. 1, this is a problem. All we can do is ignore it. Followed by, you may have received an email saying you are a member. Oh, and don't worry, you are. Followed by, but it's fake. The membership is fake because I don't get anything except pennies. Followed by, it's great that the community gets things, but it's bad because I don't get things. It's not about the members. It's never been about the members. It's always been about what he can do to, quote, milk you, end quote.
I'm not kidding. From like 300 memberships that supposedly I got tonight, I'm going to probably make like 10 cents. So, YouTube, obviously, this is a broken system with them. I can't make them fix it. They're not going to listen to me. If I keep complaining, they're just going to ignore me.
And I think this problem comes down to an issue of psychological reinforcement. See, with a tip, you give to Phil, and Phil is happy. Just Phil. Only Phil. The one person that is Phil. But all these dents that are gifting the memberships, the real memberships as he calls them, I have a hunch they share characteristics with Phil, primarily wanting to be envied or desired. So, when they tip bomb, they get a shot of dopamine, that they are above those that they tipped, or like Xerxes from 300, that they are a generous god, for they are kind. Now, there's no point to that, so Phil is going to have to defeat the psychological barrier of getting what you pay for, because memberships have value that go wide and can be appreciated by many. Tips are valuable only to one person.
So just know that's what's going on with the channel. In fact, I'm not even going to track memberships at this point. I'm just going to say, hey, thanks. If people do give memberships, that's great and all, but I'm not going to waste time tracking. And thank God, here's the good thing. Thank God we do not do member goals anymore. Can you imagine if we did member goals and this was happening? This would have ruined the whole thing. So thank God we don't do those anymore. I'm happy about that. So anyway.
You don't do member goals? No, Phil. Be accurate. Be transparent. You have member goals every stream. You said, I want to hit 610 members, the stream that you went back to 597 after cutting out 550. You have goals. What you don't have are membership goal rewards. There was nothing the community got for helping you meet your goal besides a yay, we made me money, which again is just so scummy.
If you got to get the membership today, enjoy. It's probably going to continue for a bit until these idiots just give up and we realize it doesn't affect anything. Just like every other thing they try to do to troll me, it's not going to affect anything. But it's unfortunate that, you know, we're in a situation where, you know, people want to support and be legit about it, and there's others who just want to break the system to be stupid. So just ignore it, and don't mention it in chat, and don't mention it in stream and everything, because it's not going to help anything. It's just you're giving them the attention they want. You know, and that's the sad, is that it's distracting. When you get these idiots coming in, you got major pop-ups on the screen of all these, it's like, well, they're not legit, so I'm going to turn the pop-ups off till they go away, because then you can't even pay attention to the gameplay. It's just obtrusive. It's pop-up, pop-up, pop-up. It's really dumb.
Now here's where things get fun. Phil's claim of it's not going to affect me. That may be, however, Phil was once told by YouTube that people have to accept their memberships, which I have heard around the detractor community was a lie to get Phil off their back, but go with me here. Let's say Phil has, I don't know, 50 people that are actually members, and that they like Phil's shit, or they're trolling him to stay in his good graces, and let's give him 100% of the membership value of $4. That's $200 a month in revenue. Barely anything. Phil, for as long as I've watched him, has always had anywhere between 400 and 800 members. So that's anywhere between, again, factoring 100% revenue for ease of math, $1,600 to $3,200 a month. Now, what happens when every month people exploit member bombs for, say, 2,000 members? Doesn't that mean that the 400 to 800 that he gets member bombed to him over and over again are going to be consumed? What happens if there are no other accounts that have seen Phil? Do memberships go out to people who have no idea who Phil is? And if not, does this not remove $1,600 to $3,200 of monthly income for Phil? I think this is going to affect him far more than he realizes.
But that's life, right? Until YouTube fixes it, I think they should. I don't know if they ever will, but they certainly should. But I'm just small fry, right? They don't care about it. With me, if I complain, they're just gonna be like, yeah, whatever, right? They don't listen to me. I told you guys 2 years ago, I found a huge exploit on YouTube that could literally destroy streaming. And I submitted it to YouTube, and they argued with me for 2 weeks it wasn't real. I said, here is all the evidence that it's real. And they still argue with me it wasn't real. I said, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying your business will be destroyed. And then they basically stopped talking to me. And within 1 month, they fixed the issue behind the scenes. It was...
So a little info about me. I just recently attained the Amazon Cloud Practitioner certification through Amazon Web Services, or AWS, for my work. I learned all sorts of shit, and I have a small background in disaster recovery, but the AWS certification gave me some new insights. So Phil says he found a bug that could destroy the site. I'm not going to go super deep here, but let's say YouTube runs on AWS. Here's what the exploit he found would have to do at a very high level. 1, take down the site through some kind of code, HTML exploit, or malicious code injection. 2, defeat permissions and protocols to add to database or YouTube AWS servers. 3, apply this to the high availability instances as well. You see, if YouTube had an earthquake in one area where the site is being hosted, another site exists in another state or another country that would take over all the traffic. 4, it would have to defeat the snapshots and backups and what used to be called tape backups or off-site separation backups, so that you keep a backup off-site so that way if something does go wrong, you can recover. And you want me to believe, Phil, that you found a bug in the user interface that would do all that. See, I'm pressing X to doubt.
Completely fixed on the site, and I'm like, so they listen to me, but they just don't acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't care about acknowledging anything or nothing, right? So it is what it is. But I had a great streaming day. Okay, I really did. It was a great day back. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So here's the deal with tomorrow.
Phil, they didn't ignore you. What you offered up as a huge exploit was likely, to them, and their much larger brains than yours, a fart in the wind. It was an intern's hotfix. It was the equivalent of a misspelling on a brochure. An, "Ah, shit, we should fix this, but maybe we'll handle more important stuff first." And the only way to change anyone's mind, Phil, is to tell us what this mythological bug was that you found. But, you know, since it likely doesn't exist, well, I'm sure you'll tell us about it right after showing us your WWE Champions account. Anyway, this was a quick one, I know. I took a poll as to whether I should keep doing current events or if I should do research pieces, and current events is edging out research by like 1 vote, so here you go. I'll probably do a research piece when I find something I really want to dig into, but yeah, that'll do it for this one. Big ups to SnortHogan for the clip. I appreciate you so much, and big ups to you for watching, especially to the end of the video. It means more to me than you could know. Until next time, swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean.